All right, welcome everybody to Comic Hour. I am back and we have some awesome news. The full plot description of Avengers Doomsday seems to have been leaked on X. The descriptions, as it tells here, as it says, Avengers Doomdays open in NYC on Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man's Earth. He's fighting Deadpool and Wolverine, who were sent there with a planet-killing bomb built by Beast to destroy Toby's world in order to save their own universe from an incursions. Toby battles Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, who managed to plant the device. Wolverine stays behind when it detonates, and both he and Toby's Spider-Man, along with everyone on that Earth, are killed. Now that sounds pretty dramatic. I'm not sure if Toby and Wolverine are going to die, but if they are, that will be an end of an era. It's absolutely devastating to think that they will kill off Toby, who is the OG of the Marvel Universe. He was one of the first Spider-Man, and of course Wolverine, the first Wolverine in 2000s. Those are my generation um, superhero characters that I grew up with, and it would be sad to see them go. But if they gotta go, guys. Now, Deadpool escapes and returns to his own Earth, which we see in the distance. Charles Xavier watches the destroyed world below with sadness, but they had no choice. We then cut to Tony's funeral. Steve speaks with some of the heroes, including Ant-Man, before returning the stones. He goes back in time and chooses to stay with Peggy. They have a son, Jim. One day, Loki visits them. This is before the Loki season 2 finale. He tells Steve about the TVA and warns him that they will soon prune this timeline because Steve was never meant to live there or have a son. Which makes sense, guys, because, as you know, Steve, he kind of broke the timeline when he went back and lived with Patty, right? Patty Carter, right? Can't do that, obviously. So Loki offers them a way out. He can take them to a universe where they don't exist and can live in peace. The Fantastic Four's universe. Before leaving, Loki gives Steve a special card to contact him. Steve and his family lived there for 10 years. Wow, that makes a lot of sense now, Steve going to the Fantastic Four universe, and, obviously they're going to meet, right? The Fantastic Four and Steve are going to meet, and they're going to obviously do something with Doom. This is pretty interesting so far. Let's keep on reading. We then see Dr. Doom visiting Sue and Franklin. They clearly know each other. Doom says he has to come to speak with Reed. He warns him about the incursions and reveals their universe is next. He proposed a plan, but they must travel with him to Earth 616. Doom also asks Reed whether it's possible someone from another universe is living in theirs. They scan the planet and discover an anomaly. Steve and his family. Dun dun dun, of course, right? They confront Steve, who recognized them after living there for a decade. They explain the incursions and ask him to come to 616 to help convince the Avengers to trust Doom's plan. They travel there, and Steve successfully persuade the heroes to listen. Next, they visit the X-Men universe, but the X-Men are hostile. They survive multiple incursions and trust no one. They assume the MCU heroes and the Fantastic Four have come to destroy them and attack. Reed and Doom explain their solution: to build massive cannons on each Earth that will permanently separate the universe and stop the incursions. They will split into teams and each one will go to another Earth to place a cannon there. Meanwhile, Steve tells Thor he met a Loki who is still alive. Thor asks Steve to take him to Loki. Using Loki's card, they locate the TVA, but when they arrive, everyone is dead, and Loki has had his heart ripped out. They realize Doom is responsible. Come on. So this makes a lot of sense now. This is probably why they realize that Doom is not their friend. He's actually a bad guy. This definitely comes together right now. The structure of this is coming together, guys. Now Steve goes back to confront Doom, who reveal his true plan to allow the incursions to happen so he can rebuild the multiverse in his own image and resurrect his dead family. He takes Steve to his castle in Latveria on his Earth. There, Steve meets Doom's followers, masked witches. One of them impersonates Peggy to manipulate him. Doom reveals that Steve's presence in their universe is what triggered the incursions, because he didn't belong there. It also led to the death of Doom's family. Doom became obsessed with stopping the incursion, conducting dangerous experiments, one of which failed, killing his family and leaving him disfigured, forcing him to wear the armor and mask. As revenge, Doom kills Steve's son in front of him. This makes a lot of sense now. This is why Doom wanted to find Steve, because Steve is responsible for killing his family and his universe. This makes a lot of sense now. Doom announced that the Avengers are coming, and Latveria prepares for war. The Fantastic Four, the Avengers, and the X-Men unite and march on Latveria. Thor prays to Odin, who sends an army from Valera to join the battle. A massive war erupts as the Earth begins to collide. Eventually, the universe crashes into each other and are destroyed, killing everyone except Doom. It's revealed that he stole Loki's power. Using them, he creates Battleworld, resurrects everyone, and erases their memories. They believe Battleworld is all that has ever existed. We see them living new lives in this false reality. Doom sits on his throne as the emperor of Battleworld. The end. Wow. Let me just tell you, this is like the comics, the Secret Wars comic in, I believe, 2010, where, Doom creates Battleworld. They're just following that script. If this plot is real, the way things are going in Secret Wars is going to be kind of similar to the comic that happened in 2010, I believe. This is very, very similar. They just connected the end game theory, the end game, ending of Steve going back with Peggy, and they're trying to connect that with, the comics, the Secret War comics, which leads to Secret Wars. But if this is true, this makes a lot of sense, and I can totally see this plot descriptions that's making its way around Twitter being absolutely real. Now, with that in mind, if you like this review, please click the like, subscribe, and join me on our next video, because I cannot wait until this movie comes out. All right, peace out, guys.